Last year, I hiked the Mullerthal Trail and I fell in love with Luxembourg. This year, I came back, but this time not just to walk, but also to paddle. 2 days, one backpack, one packraft, and a whole lot of adventure waiting ahead. Last year, I hiked the Mullerthal Trail, and I'll be honest, I didn't expect Luxembourg to blow me away the way it did. I thought it would be quiet forests and small hills, but what I found was a fairy tale world of mossy rocks, caves and trails that looked straight out of a fantasy film. So a few months later, I found myself scrolling through PackraftTravel.nl, the same people I did a trip earlier this year in Germany. That one involved hiking, biking and kayaking, basically a triathlon disguised as a holiday. This time, it was a 2-day adventure through Luxembourg, hiking through forests and farmlands and kayaking down the river. I arrived late Friday night at the campsite in Berdorf. The sun was gone, the light fading fast, and of course that's the perfect time to pitch a tent. Nothing says relaxing start to the weekend quite like hammering tent pegs in the dark while your neighbors stare and silently judge your technique. But eventually I got the tent up, I wandered into town for some dinner and a beer and called it a night, ready for whatever this weekend adventure would throw at me. I woke up to the sound of birds and a soft light creeping through the tent. When I unzipped the door, I was met with this, a sea of mist floating over the fields and forest below. I grabbed my camera and just stood there for a few minutes. It was one of those rare mornings where everything feels still and you remember why you came. After a quick run to the supermarket for breakfast and snacks, because yes, snacks are the foundation of any successful expedition, I met the team from PackraftTravel.nl. They handed out gear, gave us a safety briefing and showed us how to assemble the rafts. It all looks simple enough, in theory. Today's route would be the Expert Trail, about 28 kilometers of hiking and 9 kilometers of kayaking. Translation, I was going to be both tired and sunburned. Alright, I'm back in Luxembourg and this is going to be another little adventure. I'm going to do some packrafting this time around the Mullerthal region. Starting in Berdorf, so it'll be 2 days of packrafting. Day one now will take me about 30 kilometers, about 21 kilometers of hiking and about 9 kilometers of kayaking. Got everything I need on my back, my boat, my paddles, my hiking gear. And I'm in a beautiful Berdorf, a nice little campsite there. A really beautiful morning at sunrise this morning with the mist, was just incredible. So today will be a long day, but I have the whole day to explore. Weather looks great, so I can take my time and just take in some nature at the end of sunshine. As you can see, a bit busy still right now, but soon we'll get into the nature and be away from all these kind of things. So I'm very excited. Let's do this. The morning started with some easy farm tracks. I even made a few friends, some curious cows who looked like they were judging my life choices. Soon I entered the forest and instantly it reminded me of why I love this region. This part of Berdorf feels like stepping into another world. Moss-covered stones, narrow paths, ferns and that soft golden light breaking through the trees. No grand viewpoints here, just quiet beauty in the details. The next few hours pass in a blur of forest trails, farmlands and tiny villages. The kind of peaceful rhythm that only hiking can give you. Eventually I reached Wallendorf, a small town buzzing with people and canoes. That's when I knew it was time to trade my boots for a paddle. I unpacked everything, assembled the kayak and tried to look like I knew what I was doing. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But it went surprisingly well, and after a short water test to let the kayak get used to the temperature, yes, apparently that's a thing, I was ready to launch. Well, I've reached the kayak point and blew up the kayak now in the water and resting for a couple of minutes to make sure it's okay for the cold weather, so it shrinks a bit. I'll probably blow it up a bit more again and put my pack on and we're ready to go. Kayaking for about 9 kilometers down the river. Seems we'll be going with the current, which is nice. It's definitely not too much of a tough psych rowing today, so excited. Let's do this. seem to be exactly the same as what we did in Eiffel. On the one there's a bit of a current this way, and see there's a bit of faster water down there, so maybe some small rapids. Let's see how it goes. Well, this is small rapids, nothing too serious it seems. Very peaceful down this river here. So make sure I don't go into the side, so I need to concentrate, so give me a second. The river was calm, the current gentle, just enough to carry me along. I passed forests, meadows and little rapids that made me feel like a professional, even though I was probably screaming on the inside. So I almost got stuck in a rock there. So I think the trick, and I'm not an expert on rapids, is that stay away from sort of the jagged areas, because that seems to be where the rocks are. So try to see where the smoothest water flow is and go there. Fortunately, it's also sort of the late part of the summer, so the water level is quite low, so rocks are a bit more prevalent. So yeah, a tip. Let's see if I can actually stick to my own tips. After about an hour and a half on the water, I reached the exit point. I pulled the kayak out, deflated it and packed everything back in. Let's just say it wasn't my cleanest moment. Mud everywhere, a small crowd watching, and me pretending this was totally normal behavior. From there, it was a short hike back to the campsite, through more farmland, small hills and that end of day glow that makes everything look perfect. That's it. Day one of packrafting done. Won't lie, it was a long day. 31 kilometers about. So yeah, about 8 hours. Maybe even 8.5 hours. So yeah, long day. A little bit tired, quite thirsty. But very beautiful. Can't wait to have a beer now. And just relax and get this pack off me. When I got back, the place was buzzing. Live music, food stalls and cold beer. I dropped my pack, ordered a burger and celebrated surviving the first 35 kilometers. After a shower and some stretching, I crawled into my tent. My body was finished, but my heart was full. It's been a long day, 11 hours of adventure, and tomorrow I'll do it all over again. Day 2 started, slowly. Let's just say my body was reminding me that I'm not 21 anymore. Every muscle ached, even the ones I didn't know existed. But I had one more day ahead, another 20 plus kilometers on foot and a final 9 on the river. So I packed up my tent, stretched my very stiff legs and set up before most people had even had their coffee. Well, good morning. Day 2 of the packrafting in Luxembourg. Starting a bit earlier this morning, so I have to drive home later, and also probably going to get quite hot today, so earlier the better. Today I'll just do the shorter route because of it. So I should only be about 22-23 kilometers today, not the 32 of yesterday. I think the rowing will only be around 7.5 kilometers, so yeah, should be fun. I'll go back there and put in the kayak and then continue from there. So I'll just be hiking back there, get the kayak going, and then have some more fun on the river. Beautiful day. It's going to be an amazing day today, and yeah, it's been an amazing trip so far, so good stuff. I thought I'd be retracing my steps from yesterday, but to my surprise, the route was incredible. It turned out to be the highlight of the entire trip. The section felt like walking through a dream, with the best parts of the Mullerthal Trail all rolled into one. Narrow canyons, wooden bridges, moss-covered walls, and tunnels carved into the rock. I stopped about every 5 minutes to take photos, which is probably why I didn't break any speed records. And there we go, I'm back in the town with the market. Just grabbed some nice coffee and some snacks so I can eat while the kayak is sort of resting in the water. Yeah, beautiful day. It wasn't actually the exact same trail from yesterday. It was actually a bit of a different one, which was very beautiful. Definitely worth doing. It's probably the highlight of the trail so far. So yeah, you get some beautiful rock formations and through these weird crevices and tunnels and stuff, so very beautiful. So it's a nice walk, took about 2 hours, so soon I'll be at the kayak point again and I'll try to blow it up. And after a few hours I reached the same small town as yesterday, and my next mission, the kayak. I found a cafe, grabbed a slice of cake and a coke and let my kayak acclimatize to the water again. Mostly an excuse to sit down and eat some sugar. As I inflated the kayak, I could feel eyes on me again. Nothing like public kayak assembly to test your confidence levels. But at this point, I was basically a pro, or at least I looked like one, I think. The river was as beautiful as ever, calm stretches broken by small rapids. Ducks drifting by, sunlight bouncing off the water. My shoulders were sore, but my heart was full. Okay, back on the water. The rapids ahead, as you can see behind me there. So yeah, let's see if I can do better than yesterday. This was the kind of peace you can't fake. Just me, the river, and the quiet sound of the paddle hitting the water. Eventually I reached Echternach, the main town in the region. The sound of water was replaced by chatter, bicycles and the smell of food. So naturally I stopped for a meal and yes, another beer. At this point it was tradition. After that it was time for the last stretch. A few more hills, a few more forests, and that bittersweet feeling when you know the adventure is about to end.
There we go, end of day 2 pack rafting. What a great weekend. Got everything that I wanted. Beautiful weather, beautiful scenery. I must say I think day 2's trail is definitely the highlight. A real classic Mullerthal vibe, so if you can only do one of the days, second day is really nice. All the beautiful rock formations, overgrown moss, bridges, really beautiful. A nice little kayak section as well. A little bit tired today of yesterday, but yeah, good fun. It's just before 3 o'clock now. Gonna check out, wash my kayak and grab something cold to drink and then head home. Feeling recharged, refueled. Great weekend. If you get a chance, check out PackraftTravel.nl. A really great company. I did the one in Germany with Eiffel, also really great. This one in Luxembourg, can really highly recommend. Especially the trail section and the word of rapids on the kayak. Next one I'll try out is the one in Austria. A bit more technical rapids over 5 days. Keen to try that next year, so I'll be back. But yeah, check them out, they make it easy, they plan everything for you and really easy just to get started. So,
And that's a wrap for my 2-day solo pack rafting trip through Luxembourg. It's crazy how much adventure you can fit into one weekend. Hiking through mossy forests, paddling quiet rivers, and somehow convincing yourself that assembling twice counts as a workout. Huge thanks to PackraftTravel.nl for organizing such a great experience. Seriously, these guys make it easy just to show up and focus on the fun part. If you enjoyed the adventure, hit that like button, drop a comment below and tell me, would you try a pack rafting trip like this? And if you're new here, I make cinematic hiking adventure videos all across Europe. So if that's your kind of thing, hit subscribe and come along for the next journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay humble, and keep exploring.